Yeah, we're looking for this is the 24th year in a row that we've been doing downrigging. It started very simply when the Pride of Baltimore came over in 2001 after the launch of Sultana, and the two boats went out sailing together, and everyone had such a good time that we did it again, and then we invited other boats, and then we invited more boats, and then eventually we had as many boats as we could and wanted to make it bigger, and we found Rousby, and we added a bluegrass festival to it, and it is now the world's only tall ships and bluegrass festival. We have some boats that haven't been here for a while. So we have the Godspeed from Jamestown, and they haven't been here since 2021, and it's only the second time they've come. Most of the other boats are familiar. So you have Kelmar Nickel, the Maryland Dove, Pride of Baltimore 2, the Schooner Lynx from up in Nantucket, Lady Maryland, AJ Meerwald, and Sigsbee. So all of them have been here before. There are just not that many of these boats around. And we work really hard to get super high quality boats. And all of those boats are owned by nonprofit organizations that do education, just like Sultana. So it's really sort of our peers and our contemporaries. It is. I mean, the ones that make the longest journeys are the Schooner Lynx, but they do it while they're on their way down the coast. They spend the winter down in Georgia, so they do it on their way down. And then AJ Meerwald, the state ship of New Jersey, it is a bit of a trip for them. But there's really no other event like it. We're the only tall ship festival that takes people out sailing. Most tall ship festivals, you tie them up, people walk on them, and it's great. But we're crazy enough to take what will ultimately be about 1,200 people sailing over the course of the weekend. We, as of today, have 24 tickets left out of an original over 1,000. Now, I will add that we're most likely going to add another boat on Monday, and that'll get us another 100 tickets. So we're going to add a little bit more.
We wound up, I was approached by one of the board members, and Drew wanted to add music to the weekend of downrigging in an attempt to create some income. Because in the original model, and still to this day, all of the money for the rides on the ships, the sails, go directly to those ships. And of course I laughed at Drew a little bit when he wanted to make money with the Bluegrass Festival, because I have enough experience in that field to know that's not a big cash cow. But we've been fortunate enough to have developed a very, very strong regional bluegrass festival now, where we're not just playing music to the tall ship people. We've converted enough of them to bluegrassers that we now have a bluegrass audience. And it's been fun for me. It's a neat challenge. I have a lot of contacts within the industry, but I have also contacts with bands that I know would come and play for us, but we don't have room for them, which is a great problem to have. Each year I go to the International Bluegrass Music Association convention, and now representing not only Gray Fox, but representing Downrigging, they have a gig fair, which is basically like speed dating for up-and-coming performers. And they get a total of 15 minutes to present their band to Downrigging in an attempt, anyway, to become a performer at the Downrigging lineup. So it's a lot of fun, and to the point that we had 18, I believe, different bands that gig fared Downrigging this year. Well, this year we have, I think, one of the best lineups that we've had. Friday night is primarily Middle Atlantic states performers. We have performers from the DC area. We have the Pennsylvania area represented. And we have what we like to call our host band, the High and Wides, who basically got their start right here in Chestertown. On Saturday, we have bands from Pennsylvania, Northern Virginia, Western North Carolina, and Nashville performing. Our headliner this year is Missy Raines and her band Allegheny. I had the great fortune of sitting at the table right next to her table at one of the award shows this year in Chattanooga, where she won Distinguished Achievement Award, which is a recognition by the industry for those people that have contributed many, many things to the industry. In addition to that, Missy, I think, is 6 or 7-time bass player of the year for the entire international industry. One of our other headliners on Saturday, Danny Paisley, has been male vocalist of the year for the industry now 2 or 3 times. And these are, I have the great fortune of saying, these are good friends of mine now, just because of my time within the industry. On Sunday, which is our community day, there's no admission charge to come into the festival. We have a great collection of gospel singers from the Midshore area. We have an Eastern Shore band that we've had quite a few years now that is just really, really doing a great job in the industry. And we also have the Navy Country Current. And they have played now at every downrigging that we've had. And it's so appropriate to have a Navy band at a tall ship festival. And all the performers in the Navy band through the years just have enjoyed coming to downrigging. And it really makes it fun. They put on a great show.
I think it's always important on our end why we do downrigging. So mostly what Sultana does takes place out of the public eye. We work with students from pre-K through 8th grade. We're out in the field, we're on the water, we're in creeks, we're in tributaries, we're back in the Lawrence Preserve. And we don't really do that much with the general public. So downrigging is our way to sort of celebrate what we've done. You know, we've worked with about 13,000 students this year. So it's a big celebration of that. It's our chance to sort of tell that to people who are adults and who, you know, are more of our contemporaries. And then, as Rousey mentioned, it is a meaningful fundraiser for us now. It probably supports about, 15% of our programs are underwritten by downrigging every year, which is a big deal. So that's, for us, that's the most important thing for downrigging. For Sultana in general, I would say the thing we're looking forward to most is next year we have 2 anniversaries. It's the 30th anniversary of the founding of the organization, and then it's the 25th anniversary of the launch of Sultana. So we're already thinking about downrigging 2026. It's going to have a lot of content based around the building and launch of Sultana. The only thing I would add is, that we have the ticketed events on the boats and with the Music Village, but there's a ton of free stuff as well. So there's an opportunity every day to tour the boats for free. It's usually limited to an hour and an hour and a half, so you got to look at the schedule at downrigging.org to see when it is. But the Maryland Dove is going to be open all day on Saturday for free. There are fireworks on Friday night. The fireworks are getting bumped back about it to 8:15. It says 8 on the schedule. We're going to bump it back to 8:15 because the police have to finish up doing their work for Halloween trick-or-treating and then get to the fireworks. So it's a really tight schedule. There are tons of exhibits and lectures. The book plate is doing multiple lectures and book talks out at the Lawrence Preserve. The Kent Cultural Alliance has an exhibit going on that weekend. Sumner Hall is having a Sumbarkan concert on Thursday. The CV Star Center and the Chesapeake Heartland Project have walking tours and exhibits on Saturday. Carlo Massoni has the annual Mark Castelli exhibit, which is really right up the alley of downrigging. So I encourage people to take a look at downrigging.org, and there's a ton of stuff to do that is free all weekend.